What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Dylan here from D's Balls and Exotics. Today I thought I'd do a video showing you guys how I package my animals in order to ship them out and get them to their new home safely. I see a lot of sad excuses, honestly, for packaging going around lately, especially on Instagram and stuff. So I thought I'd throw out some pointers there, maybe help some of you guys out that don't know, and just kind of show you guys how we do things around here. So let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to start off with is you're going to need a reptile shipping box. Now these boxes are insulated with foam. They have multiple different sizes. You can order them in depending on the size animals you're shipping. I usually go with the 12 by 9 by 6s. I'll get into that a little bit more into detail and why I choose that size box here shortly. But just to get started, you guys are going to need a box like this. So you can get these boxes at a number of the big websites, whether it's Reptile Basics, Ship Your Reptiles, Superior Shipping Supplies, The Bean Farm. Any of those websites are going to carry these supplies. Order from whatever you prefer, whoever you choose to support. They're all great websites and they all carry the same materials or similar shipping supplies. So right here I have a 12 by 9 by 6. When you get these boxes, they're probably going to be flat packed all separately. So go ahead and fold the box up, tape your bottom here, make sure it's nice and tight. And then we're going to have to add our foam next. So you're going to have these two smaller pieces, you're going to have these two larger pieces, and then you're going to have your top and bottom piece. So as you guys can see here, I've already got the bottom piece in. So then what we're going to do next is I usually take one of my long sides, put that in off to one side. You'll create a little gap here to slide your smaller piece into. Same thing's going to happen here, and we're just going to continue that all the way around. Just like that. So now we're going to need to use some packing material in here. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to need is some sort of packing material. You can use paper, whether it's the same paper you use in your tubs, paper towels, newspaper, packing peanuts, the polyfill stuffing that they use for pillows. You can get giant bags of that for pretty cost effectively as well. But either way, we're going to need some sort of packing material. I've already prepared a box just as we are, but with the packing material the way I do it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this guy. So again, same box, same setup. But as you guys can see here, what we've done is we just get a lot of packing material in here, really make sure our edges are lined, everything's nice and cushiony, there's a good layer on the bottom, because this is where our animal's going to travel, and I want to make sure, you know, I don't really trust the FedEx drivers. We know that these guys are going on a plane, off a plane, into a truck, off another truck. We want to make sure these guys make it as safe as possible and with the least amount of disturbance as possible. So the better packing material, the better it is for the animal and less stressful during shipping, if you ask me. So moving on from here, our box is just about ready for now. So we're going to go ahead and set this off to the side. And we'll go ahead and take this here as well. So, alright you guys, so for me, I'm mainly shipping out snakes and I prefer to use snake bags, but if you're shipping out a gecko or something of that nature, or even a smaller snake or anything like that, and you prefer to use delis, this information can still apply to you. Just the way I do things with the snake bag, replace it with a deli is all. Also, I recommend if you are shipping in a deli, make sure you tape the lid shut. Keep those air holes clear, of course, but make sure you tape the lid shut. You don't want accidents to happen and that animal to be loose and wandering throughout the box, especially if you're using a cryo pack or especially if you're using a heat pack. You don't want that animal right up on that. So, moving forward though, I've got my snake bag ready right over here. And we're just going to grab a snake from over here and I'm going to walk you guys through the whole process of how I would actually ship this animal out. So let's go ahead and go with this banana yellow belly that is actually up on our morph market currently. This guy's nice looking dude. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a check over. I'm going to look over the whole snake. I'm going to make sure he looks good and healthy. His eyes look clear, you know, there's no tiny little pieces of stuck shed that maybe, you know, he had a bad shed and we didn't catch it right away. Just anything, guys. I mean, check everything. check their eyes, check underneath their head. I just want to make sure that the animal's 100% good. You know, if something were to pop up randomly, I would want to know and not just ship that animal out. Thankfully, we keep our collection really clean here, so really it's just kind of a redundancy thing, and also to, you know, check out the animal before you're saying bye to it. But beautiful little dude. So now that I've done my little bit of a health check here, what I'm going to do is I am going to grab some paper towel, and usually I just take one piece. Go ahead and set those off to the side. I like to fold this in half here, hamburger style as they would say, and then I'm going to do that one more time. So what I'm doing here is just in case the animal pees or something during shipping, I don't want it to be sitting in a pee-soaked bag. So I go ahead and just like that, as you guys can see, I shove this paper towel right down into the bottom of the bag here, and then I kind of open it up. Hopefully you guys can get a little bit of a glimpse at that. But I open it up so when I set the snake in there, he's going in between those folds in the paper towel. Now, we all know he's probably not going to stay there, but it does give him a nice little comfy place to stay warm and cozy up for the ride. So I'm going to go ahead and get my snake in there. I'm going to grab the bag below the ties, and I'm going to make sure that no part of the snake is anywhere near the ties. Now, some of the guys put zip ties on the bag, some of them twist the bag and tie the bag itself, some use the twist tie. Whatever you do, it's all the same. So, well, this bag has a missed stitch. That's kind of different, guys. Check that out. So, they actually, where it's usually connected here, threw an accidental stitch right in there. Doesn't affect us none. We're gonna go ahead and continue on, but funny, never had that happen before. What I do is I go ahead and just twist right around there, so it's kind of just looping back on itself. Again, I'm kind of just holding the bottom of the bag just to make sure the snake isn't coming up. I'm just going to do your normal square knot here. Pull that nice and tight. Now at this point I can let go because I'm not going to be putting any more pressure on the bag or tightening that. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bow tie right there. And now our snake is securely packaged in the bag. So at this point, I'm going to grab my box, go ahead and take this top off, and we're going to safely nestle the snake right here in this little pocket we created in the center. Now for me, what I like to do is kind of get him, or her for that matter, just settled in there, and we'll go ahead and fold this bag just over like that. Now, because I'm a little OCD, I like to make sure the sticker or the Lacey Act label is on the front of the box, so if someone were to open it and this is facing them, they can immediately undo our packaging and grab the snake bag. So, because I'm facing you guys, I'm going to be doing this a little backwards today, but what I usually do next is I'm going to take just a simple another piece of paper just like this, and I'm going to go ahead and just put that right in there, just like that. And that way, when somebody opens this box, all they really need to do is lift this up and they can immediately grab their snake out. Don't worry, little guy, we'll get you back soon. So what I'm going to do is just have that just like that. Now, the next thing is with this top. This is really going to differ depending on where you're shipping to, what your temperatures are, and what the temperatures are at the hubs in between yourself and the destination. So as far as temperatures and shipping go, you guys, if it's below 40 degrees, I will not ship. But if it's between 40 and 90 degrees, is when I will ship. So if it's in that 40 to 60 degree range, I'm going to go ahead and use a heat pack. So let's go ahead and let's just say it's a colder time of the year and we're going to need a heat pack in order to keep this animal warm enough during shipping. I'm going to go ahead and grab my heat pack here. Now, these are not hand warmers. These are specifically made for shipping reptiles and aquatics. Do not use hand warmers, you guys. They will get too hot. These are specifically made to last a certain amount of time. They have 40-hour heat packs. They have, I believe they're 72-hour heat packs. I go with the 40-hour heat packs. Again, these are all priority overnight shipping only. If anybody's shipping you an animal and it's not priority overnight, don't buy that animal. Simple as that. So again, heat pack, what we're gonna do, I don't need one right now, so I'm not gonna go through this, but I will explain it to you guys, is I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, much like a hand warmer. I'm gonna give it a little shake. I wrap mine in either a hand towel or a paper towel for that matter, just because it helps kind of warm it up a little bit faster. Now on this heat pack is gonna be a red line going straight down the center. You do not want to tape over that red line. I see way too many people doing that. It says directly on the package not to do that, and on almost any of the shipping label websites as well. So let's say we got this, we got our red line facing up, just like this, outside of the package of course. It's nice and warmed up for about 20 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and run a seam of tape right on the edge there and right on the edge there, and make sure your packing tape comes out quite a bit so this is able to securely hold onto the lid. And at that point, if we were using it, you're gonna go ahead and flip that right over, so that is now facing down towards the animal. But you notice how we have this cushion here, we have all that packing material below. You do not want this directly on the animal. I see some of the old school guys, they just shove the heat packs on the side and have never had an issue with it. That's not how I do things, so I'm just kind of explaining to you guys how I do things. I personally would not do that. I prefer to tape them onto the bottom of the top piece of foam and go ahead and set it down like that. So again, the heat pack is going to be for anywhere between 40 and, roughly 60, 65, but let's say it's between 65 and 80. 65 and 80, really you could get away without using a heat pack at all. Anything above 80, I for sure would be using a cryo pack, but really for us, anything above 65, we're going to be using a cryo pack. Now, cryo pack isn't necessarily a cold pack. So you have your cryo packs here. These are set to maintain a room temperature range. So really, if you just put this in there as is in its liquid state, that is going to keep the box as close to 70 degrees to 75 degrees as possible. Whether it's hotter or cooler, it's going to prevent those swings as much as possible and really just hold the ambient temp. So these are great for when you're right in the middle of the temperature zones and you don't really need a cold pack. But at the same time, let's say it's a little hot here and it's getting up 85 degrees or so, 88 degrees. You got to add this is in a small box. It's maybe sitting on a truck. It's going to get a little hotter. So what you can do is you can take these cryo packs, you can go ahead and throw it in your freezer for 20 minutes to an hour. This will freeze up, and then the same thing, you're going to go ahead and tape this onto the lid here and then flip it over. So, a few ways of doing that, you guys. Really depends on your temperature zones, but as far as that goes, make sure you look up who you're getting your shipping labels through. Make sure you follow their regulations as far as which to use, whether it's a heat pack, nothing, cryo pack. Make sure you guys follow their regulations because they're going to be the ones you want to cover. This is just how I do things again. So let's say we already have our, it's summer here. Let's say we already have our cryo pack down there. We're going to go ahead and set this down just like this. So after we get to this point, I'm going to put my cover letter on here. It can be whatever you want, but this is just something that we do. So we'll go ahead and just throw that one there. Then what I'm going to do is I put in a birth certificate with, or at least our version of a birth certificate with every snake that we produce. So if you guys want to go ahead and just take a closer look at that. So here we're going to fill out the ID number, the hatch date, the genetics of the animal you purchased, the gender of the animal, when it was last fed, the date in and out, the mother or the father, any notes that may be necessary, and exactly what it's been feeding on, as well as just post some social media links there so you guys can check us out if you like to. And usually we're going to throw that, again, just right on top there. Then we keep track of every feeding as well as all the information in regards to when that animal hatched on these little feeding cards or index cards here. So we just have our genetics written on top, hatch date, and all of the times it's been offered food and what it ate and whether it refused or not, as well as the gender and ID number up here. So that's going to go ahead and go along with the animal as well. At that point, if you're buying an animal from me, you are of course going to get stickers. Gotta hook you guys up. I really appreciate your support. It's the least I can do. So we've actually got some new magnets that have been thrown in packages, so we'll go ahead and throw that down. We've got our classic big These Balls and Exotics sticker. We've got our holographic These Balls and Exotic sticker, and then we've got some smaller guys for you, an holographic and an actually clear sticker. Looks like it has a white backing like the larger sticker, but this is actually 100% clear. So we're gonna go ahead and hook you guys up with some stickers, and then we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hold this down just a little bit so we don't ruin your guys' paperwork. We're gonna fold this box up just like so. We are then gonna tape this box shut, making sure that we keep our air holes completely clear. Then we're gonna put our packaging label or our shipping label right on top here. Make sure that's completely taped over, you guys, nice and flat. Keep it good, or else they're just gonna have to replace it when you drop it off at FedEx or the hub. So just try to keep it as neat as possible. It'll make both your life and the FedEx employee's life much easier. Not that, you know, they're that great anyway. But, whole nother story. Usually I'll throw a sticker here on the box so you guys can see it as soon as you get the package. But here's the other thing I want to cover. If your boxes do not have this label on them, you need to order the stickers. The box or shipment must contain this label on every single snake or animal going out. So right here, you're going to select whether it's aquatics or reptiles. You're going to write the quantity and species, both common name and scientific name. And then I like to put a piece of tape over this so it can't get smeared or ruined in any sort of way. Or if you're using the stickers, I still put a piece of tape over the sticker after applying it onto the box. But make sure that's there, it's clear, it's legible. These boxes also have a perishable handle with care. Some will say harmless live reptile, arrows up. Either way, make sure it's directly marked as to which side of the box is up. It's very important, you guys. We don't want that heat pack, especially on the bottom if weather permits. And that's about it, guys. You're going to take that box just like this with your shipping label and your Lasiac label filled out. Make sure your air holes, again, are completely clear. And we're going to go ahead and ship that animal out to you guys priority overnight and get it to your house the next morning, usually by 10:30 a.m. So that's about it, guys. That's how we do things over here. I just wanted to share that information with you guys. I've seen a lot of boxes going out where people don't have any sort of packing material, really no sort of information when you guys purchase an animal. That's why we like to do the cover letter. That's why we like to do our little version of the birth certificates or show cards. And that's why we like to give you guys the original feeding card for that animal. So you guys know that animal's well established, it's eating, you know exactly what you purchased, when you purchased it, when it arrived in your collection, and you always have that information handy. Now, if you don't care about that thing, you decide to throw it away, whatever. At least you can't say I didn't provide you with all of that information, and that's what I want somebody to see every time they open a box from us. I want them to open the box, and I want that to be what they see. I want them to make sure they knew that we took the utmost care to get them all the information that we had. Alright, you guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Just wanted to share that information with you guys. If you guys like this content, make sure you go down below and smash subscribe so you get notified when we upload more content. Go ahead and hit that like button while you're at it. It'll really help us out. And I look forward to hearing your guys' comments down below. Tell me what you guys think of this packaging, how you guys package your animals. If it's different, I'd love to hear other opinions. There's always a million ways to do things. And, you know, we're always learning here too. So, love to hear others' ideas and opinions. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.